Welcome to my channel and my first ever video. This is the Viking Buddha podcast and I'm Steo, aka the Viking Buddha. So this is really just going to be an intro video to let you know a bit about me, what the channel's about and where I'd like it to go. So I'll start with me and why I'm calling myself the Viking Buddha. Now, I love learning new things, which has probably got something to do with my undiagnosed ADHD brain. But basically, I'll get obsessed with something, go down the rabbit hole, and then in a couple of weeks, move on to something else. And so I have lots of interests and, I basically love everything. And so I've spent the last 15 years looking into personal development. That's one area that's really kept my attention. I've read lots of books, watched or listened to countless hours of TED Talks, YouTube videos and podcasts, mainly trying to find out who I am, to be honest, which I get is a bit cliche, but anyway. And in all those years, I've covered lots of different areas and lots of different themes, but two themes or areas that I've got into have stayed with me the most. My obsession with Vikings and my interest in spirituality. See, I've always been a content, calm, measured, and in some ways stoic person. I describe myself as an empath with a very open mind. I'm not religious, but I do feel like there's a lot more out there than the reality that we perceive. And in my research into spirituality, I came across various teachers of Eastern healing and philosophies, which is where I stumbled across Buddhism, around 5 years ago, I'd say. Now, I'm not a Buddhist now, but I did find it fascinating. And I threw myself into it. Again, the ADHD brain. But I watched all 55 episodes of the Indian TV series Buddha. And there was some shit acting in that. So that was commitment. I started going to meditation retreats. I was vegan, turned vegan for 18 months. I'm practicing mindfulness, that sort of thing. And then I came across a podcast called Rewild Yourself, which is very different. It covered a variety of topics from nutrition, fitness, masculinity, sex, all with, I guess, the backdrop of looking through the eyes of what our hunter-gatherer ancestors may have been up to. And this information really started to change me, and it caused me to start my research into masculinity. I guess out of all of the topics, that was one area that really stuck with me, because it was around this time that I realized that for as long as I could remember, I'd been a people pleaser, your typical yes man. Quite frankly, I was a bit of a pussy. And I'd always told myself that I was a nice person and that, that's a good thing. It's a good thing that I'm calm and that I'm a nice person. I don't like to fight. But after reading various books, such as The Way of the Superior Man, you're listening to this podcast and doing the personal development work, I discovered that there were both reasons of why I was the way that I was, historical reasons, and also that there were strategies for working through it. And so it began. I went from vegan to paleo. I got back into fitness. Obviously, I'm not paleo anymore. But I got back into fitness training. I started boxing. I practiced saying no. And I genuinely started not giving a fuck what people think about me. And at that time, I then started watching the Viking series. And a combination of that search for masculinity and watching the Vikings just started my obsession. Because these were real men in my mind. And they would go to any lengths to protect their people, their tribe, and their family. They were fierce, but also loyal. I mean, they did some bad stuff too. You know, the R word and all the pillaging and stuff. Yeah, we ignore that. But the lead character, Ragnar Lothbrok, really embodied the masculine approach that I was beginning to look for and cultivate. However, my curiosity into the spiritual world didn't stop. And after going through all of this, I realised that I didn't have to be one or the other, that I could actually find a balance. And since then, I've continued to nurture these two areas, these two sides to me. A masculine man with a spiritual ethos, hence the Viking Buddha. So, appreciate that was quite long-winded, but I just wanted you to know where it came from. So getting into the channel, as I've already said, I have lots of interests and passions. Music, film and TV, comedy, sport. I'm a West Ham fan, if that matters to anyone. Conspiracy theories, love a conspiracy theory. Social commentary, I like to listen to both sides. Bit of political commentary as well. And food, God, I love food. And like loads of other stuff. The list goes on. But I'll begin by mainly doing reaction videos. Now, I'm not entirely sure where all this will go, but I am on a mission to build a community, to continue to develop myself, and also where I can help others. And I want to discover the creativity that I lost by going down the route of a corporate career. But I'll save that for another story. I probably don't need to talk about it, it's boring. But anyway, I want to get my creativity back. Hopefully you'll get something out of the channel, whether it's entertainment, opening your mind, laughter, or maybe just some healthy debate. And on the journey, I hope to become my most authentic self. And I guess this is one way to really figure out who you are, because you have to be. You get found out pretty quickly if you're not. I imagine in this world. Because the keyboard warriors, you know, they'll be throwing shade at every opportunity, and I know I can see through people when I watch other reactors, when I know they're talking shit. So anyway, I'm going to be almost entirely led by you guys in terms of what I react to, and in turn the direction that the channel takes. But I'll more than likely focus more on music at the beginning. Music's my main passion out of all of those list of things. I play a couple of instruments myself. I've been in bands in the past, and I have a very wide taste in music, and I watch a lot of YouTube reaction videos myself. So this is where actually the problem comes in, because I've listened to the vast majority of songs. I've watched the vast majority of reaction videos that other reactors have made, and I've listened to thousands of songs that they haven't reacted to, at least not from what I've seen. I guess I'm a little bit rusty on recent music, so I'm relying on you guys to introduce me to something I haven't heard. Not necessarily recent, I prefer older music, but whatever you want me to listen to, please, I'm here for it, just let me know. So your first task, if you're still watching that is, and if you have the inclination to add a comment, is to suggest something for me to react to that I've never heard of. I will reply to every comment, that's if there are any, and I'm not just sitting here talking to myself, although I am definitely sitting here talking to myself. But in the meantime, I will check out some other reaction channels. I'll find something that I haven't heard of myself, just so I can start getting some videos out there. So, yeah, I guess let's see how all this goes. And remember, be strong when you are weak. Be brave when you are scared. And be humble when you are victorious. Namaste.